Again and again.
What are we doing?
The Triple M Grill Team NRL recovery session.
Doing my head in.
For Coates Hire. Coates Hire will help make your job happen. 13 15 52 or coateshire.com.au.
7:03 on the Triple M Grill Team. If you like your NRL, you're in the right place. The most comprehensive wrap of the round every week, 7 a.m. Monday here on the Grill Team.
What a week in rugby league it was. Broncos over the Roosters, the Doggies over the Knights, Rabbitohs 21-20 over the Panthers, Dragons 35-10 at Lottoland over Manly. What a win that is. Big winners were the Raiders, Tigers, and a big upsetting over the Cowboys. Warriors beat Parramatta yesterday, and the Sharkies, well, they beat the Storm again. They doubled up from grand final day, 11-2 over the Melbourne Storm in terrible conditions at Amy Park. Well done to the Sharkies. Boys, to start with the Tigers. Who would have thought, after a week from hell, negative publicity, a player who asked for release, but he ends up being the man of the match, Mitchell Moses, probably played himself out of that release. What do you think? MG, I'll ask you firstly. Do the Tigers attempt to talk Mitchell Moses out of going to Parramatta and backflipping on the deal?
Look, I think, Matty, after watching them against the Cowboys, the four players that we've been speaking about for the last month or two should all reconsider and stay with the Tigers if they want to win a comp.
Well,
I know they won't.
Yeah. You got to understand now, by people, you sign a contract. There's a 10-day cooling off period. You can backflip.
I mean, they are together. Them four players and the ensemble that Ivan Cleary.
Brooks has signed, isn't he? So we locked that one in.
Well, Brooks has signed. Brooks has signed on.
Is he in the cooling off period?
He's still got a couple of days. With my information, he is happy. He's going to stay. He's still out for another 6 weeks with a bad hamstring. What's interesting is Mitchell Moses. They have said to Mitchell Moses, we're going to withdraw your offer because we want to know what Woods and Tedesco are doing. Yeah. Woods and Tedesco aren't ready to make a decision yet, which will be by the time Mitchell Moses' cooling off period is expired. So basically, Mitchell Moses, the Tigers will have to take a punt if they say, mate, look, okay, we get that $1 million is back on the table. That's them basically punting the Woods or Tedesco or both aren't going to be there.
Look, if you could get in their ear of them four players and say, look, you've got the coach now that can take you to glory. If you stick it out for another 3 years, I reckon in that 3-year period we'll be close to winning a comp.
Well, they can't have all four.
No.
That was the idea between getting the Moses deal off the table. They want Woods and Tedesco.
Yep. Wow.
Thing is, Ivan Cleary, didn't he say he doesn't want to pay the $1 million for Moses? He wants to pay him more like the $750.
Yeah. He wants Woods and Tedesco for priority.
What I loved about that game on Saturday night was when they finally scored that winning try, which made sure that they had won. The look on Moses' face when he came in and they had that sort of celebration, it looked like he'd won a comp with the under-16, like a really just so happy. It was hard. So I would say, how can you leave? How can you leave? But I can understand it, from his point of view. It's business, and he is taking a haircut to go to Parramatta.
Meanwhile, back at the Fox Sports lounge was Jason Taylor.
That was an amazing TV to watch Jason Taylor explain that.
So at full time, they interview Mitchell Moses, and there's Brandy asking questions, and there was, I think it might have been Mark Gaz, possibly.
Or
Braith asking questions. Meanwhile, in between those two guys is Jason Taylor. Now, Mitchell Moses doesn't realise Jason Taylor is back in the studios, and they're asking questions about, and he goes, Ivan done such a great job, gave us a lot of confidence. And I'm thinking, JT, ask a question. Can you imagine?
So obviously, Matty, the old notion that attitude will always win over ability is well and truly reinforced.
Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, Dragons, 35-10. I mean, are we any doubt now Dragons are the real deal? Mary McGregor's come out and said, mate, this off-season I've taken a step back. I probably overcoached him last year. But I'll tell you what, Gareth Widdop, is he I think he's the rugby league's most underrated playmaker. He is just a superb player. How far, boys, do you think the Dragons can go in this competition? Top 4, top 8, or miss the 8? Give me a prediction on the Dragons.
Okay, first of all, I predicted them, I think, with a lot of people to be in the bottom 4.
Yeah,
I think
we all had them in the bottom 4.
So eggs on my face, in a lot of people's face. I think they're top 4 material, big time. I think Paul Vaughan has bought them. He's bought the muscle. Widdop's playing with a gay band, and so what you say about Paul McGregor overcoaching, that's evident with Widdop. Widdop's got no instructions. He's playing like
do you know what?
An immortal.
Last year, but they're less meaningless passes.
Yeah.
More running of the football, just pounding forward. Mate, I tell you.
And he's 20 points in front of the on the point scoring list as well. Like Widdop's kicking ass.
Mate, if you go out there every week and run as hard as you can, tackle as hard as you can, in a complex game, it's amazing how far it can take you. I think I have him a top top 8 side.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get there. They're playing good. The spirits are high, and Paul McGregor believes there's more improvement in them. Here's an interesting one before we take a break, and after the break we'll talk about Kieran Foran and the Sharkies and Penrith and whether you believe it was a mistake now in hindsight to stand down those players, MG. The playmakers off contract. Kieran Foran, Cooper Cronk, Gareth Widdop, Jack Bird. And interesting on Bird, looks like the Broncos are going to trump the Knights by offering Bird a bigger deal than the $950 that the Knights were going to offer him. Chad Townsend and Sean Johnson. You got $1.1 million. Who do you buy?
Cooper Cronk.
Jack Bird.
I go Kieran Foran after what I saw yesterday. He's got plenty of tomorrows. And, mate, what I'm seeing of him yesterday, he is one of the most influential players in the competition. Bugger me, how dare the Warriors? Unbelievable, isn't it? Like 22-10 over the Parramatta Eels yesterday. What are they doing? You're winning.
Playing
Starting
well.
to find some consistency.
It's weird.
Back-to-back.
And what a difference Kieran Foran makes. Because yesterday, watching them in the first half, they were so unlike the Warriors. Energetic in defence. He led their kick chase. They completed over 90% of their sets, which laid the foundation. Because I tell you, the Eels had a massive dig yesterday.
Yes.
They really had a dig and would have beaten a lot of sides. Warriors, boys, with Kieran Foran in the side. Top 4, top 8 or miss 8?
I think they're top 8. I mean, Foran's brilliant. His pass is incredible. The control he has, he just seems to just make them just better by being such a calming influence. I just think they're too inconsistent and to make the top 4, but certainly top 8.
Well, they were inconsistent, but now
Yes.
with him in the side.
Yeah, the
So
sky's the limit.
will he play the rest of the season? Will there be some sort of injuries or you know what I mean? Like,
I suppose you got to look at it on face value. If he plays the rest of the year, they could make top 4.
Yeah.
I think the ultimate compliment you can pay to any rugby league player is he makes them around them better.
That's anyone in sport. The best make others better.
At the moment, he's making Isaac Luke, as soon as he came in, Isaac Luke's come back to form.
Hasn't
Two
he?
of us, Sheck, Sean Johnson, they've all got a spring in their step because they know Roger.
Yeah, Roger. Mate, Roger starting to find that Roosters form
He looked like
again.
the Roosters, yeah.
Mate,
So,
he really is.
Kieran Foran, I probably, you asked that question about 1.2 mil, where would you spend it? I suppose you're on the right track with Foran because he's made the Warriors team that looked no chance of even actually without him they could have got the wooden spoon.
Yeah. How bad did they look?
They look crap.
And suddenly he comes back last week. They were good against the Titans to get a win. He was great in his first game back, but they were good. Yesterday,
He was
I
even better.
thought they were great.
Yep.
They were really, really good. Penrith MG, just want to ask you a question.
Yep.
Look, I believe Anthony Griffin still made the right decision. He made a statement right over these players that you can't cross the line like you do with young players. Incidentally, I watched a bit of that game. Peter Hiku, Matt Moylan, and Wagga Blake. They played the Knights in the reserve grade, and Knights beat them.
Oh, I know. I know.
I know. You look at the salary cap compared to those two sides, it just...
But MG, dropping
that
those
out.
players, it definitely cost them the game. Didn't
Oh,
it? I mean,
yeah,
Finchy pointed it out on our show. It was the two wingers and the half early on, an error from all three of them.
Yeah.
Like early on.
Sacrifice
it cost them the
worthwhile?
game.
Is it worthwhile?
Look, I wrote about this in my hard-hitting column in the P News this week. That I think it was. I think he had to do it. He did it with Tyrone Peachey last year, and Tyrone Peachey came back and he's now a most consistent player. I think sometimes some players just need a bit of a rocket.
Yeah.
Just to show that it is a team sport, and what's good for one is good for the rest of the team. If there's 17 in the squad and 14 can stay indoors and have a drink maybe behind closed doors, well, I think 17 can, even though
if one's a captain, even more so.
Well, a lot of people are saying they're grown men. Let them do what they want to do. There was no dramas, but potentially there could have been.
Yeah.
They could have put themselves in a situation where potentially there could have been. If they all went out together and they had a little room on their own, it would have been different. But they broke curfew. They had to pay the price, unfortunately.
Sharks third on the table now. They've really snuck under the radar.
They've been good.
They're playing great football. Boys, what do you think? What do you think about the Sharks? Can they? What's the likelihood of them going back to back, being the first side since the Bronx, way back in 92, 93?
After what they did yesterday, you'd say now is a massive tick in the wet, tough conditions. Against the Melbourne Storm, 100%. You can say they can go back to back. You probably wouldn't have said it because. You probably wouldn't have said it before that win yesterday.
Okay. I think Sharks can. I think Sharks with Jack Bird. He's a good player, isn't he? A competitor. He's really in the game up to his eyeballs. Every time he plays, his one-on-one defence is probably the best in the comp.
He
can play.
Melbourne and Cooper was unlike Cooper yesterday. I thought Cooper. I think the week had taken a bit of a toll on Cooper. Put a few options in that you thought that's not like Cooper. So I think that Look, I'd rather they're up against Manly this week, and geez, what a big challenge for Manly playing the Storm, coming off a loss. Boys, poor, better, best.
Yeah,
Gus?
for me, poor, the Cowboys, better, the Dragons, and then just over the Sharkies, I'm going best, the Tigers win.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to go. My poor was Manly at Lotto Land. I think everyone expected more from Manly. They looked really tired and flat. Better, Kieran Foran, and the best, mate, Dragons.
Yep.
Dragons just continue to surprise everyone.
Yeah, same. Along the same lines. Poor with Roosters last Thursday, but we spoke about them on Friday. The Eagles took their mantle over the weekend. Better, Warriors and Sharks, but I'd go the Warriors as well. And best, yeah, Dragons. They're on top of the table, and they've got their leading point scorer in the competition. Everything's looking great for the Drags.
All right, that's the NRL recovery session every Monday, 7 a.m. right here for Coates Hire. They'll help make your job happen. Give them a call, 13 15 52 or coateshire.com.au.